So, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Uh, so, welcome in new course, Math F113, Probability and Statistics. So, hopefully, you have done good in your first sem. So, in this course, let us discuss few things from the handout. So, here, as you know, this is the course Math F113, Probability and Statistics. Instructions in charge is Rakhi, right? Uh, we have the we have three sections, right? Having the two teachers, then following are the tutorial instructors also. Thereafter, the textbook for this course is JL Devor, Probability and Statistics for Engineering and Sciences, 8th edition from Cengage Learning, right? It is the 2012 publication. These are the some reference book which we can use at different point of time, right? So in this course, we have the two major part. As in name, we have probability and statistics. So first few lecture we will devote for the probability from basic of the probability. Then we will study for the random variable. Then different type of the distribution. For right. So then we will go with the discrete and continuous distribution. Then we will go for joint densities. Then after we will start the statistics part. So in that we will cover the random sampling, then testing of hypothesis, right, for the mean and proportion, and at last we will cover the simple linear regression. So this is the total course. You have the three evaluation components: mid semester, quizzes, and comprehensive. So in quizzes or continuous evaluation, it is of 45 minutes, right? And we will take two quizzes. So dates will be announced by the IC, and I will tell you what is the chamber consultancy hour, and whatever the notice you will get through the Nalanda only. And you can take the makeup under the genuine condition only. Otherwise, makeup is not allowed for any evaluation component.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we create a WhatsApp group for this tutorial?
Yeah, you can create. You include my.
Like we have an unofficial one. So like, will you like to join, or can we paste the link here?
Yeah, you can add my number.
Sir, we don't have your number. We can paste the link here actually. Like our WhatsApp group link.
So means where you have pasted the link in.
Uh,
Okay.
okay. Someone has given your contact number.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, I am writing here for all. So from screen you can note down. And there are a lot of number are coming. So they are also requesting for the same thing. So we have today we have the first lecture, first tutorial section lecture, but it is coming before the lecture. So till now you haven't the idea about any concept. So because that concept we will discuss in the lecture only. So today we will discuss that first tutorial sheet, right? And during the explanation, I try the best to explain the concept. So let us try with the first question, because more or less for many things you have the idea from the 12th also. So let us have the first question. Suppose that vehicle taking a particular freeway exit can turn right, turn left, or go straight. Go straight. Consider the observing the direction for each of the three successive vehicles. So in this case, we have the concept of the three things. First one is the experiment. So from the physics, chemistry, you have the enough idea about the experiment. Means experiment is what? The activity. It is the set of the activities which we have to perform to get particular output. So that is the experiment. But in here we will talk about the random experiment. Random experiment means the experiment whose results are unpredictable in nature, whose result you cannot predict what can come. For example, when we toss a coin, so whether the head will come or tail will come, it is unpredictable, right? So this is the experiment. Tossing a coin is an experiment. Rolling a die, what will come, that we do not know, whether the one come, two come, or six come, we do not know. So we it rolling a die is an random experiment, right? So here we have the random experiment. Then after, in the random experiment, we have the important term sample space. Sample space generally we denote by the capital S, and it is the collection. When we are saying that collection means we enclose all the elements in the curly bracket. It is a standard way to write the sample space, and here we write all the possible outcome. So sample space is nothing, it is collection of all possible outcome of an random experiment. So when the experiment is tossing a coin, right? Tossing a coin. So tossing a coin, in that case the sample space will be the head and tail. When we have the random experiment rolling a die, rolling a die, at that time the sample space will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the way to represent the sample space for the particular random sample. Now, from here we have another important question, term event. Event is nothing, it is a subset of the sample space. Subset of the sample space is termed as a event, right? So we denote it also by the capital letter A, B, X, Y, right? We denote it by the capital letter. So the first question depend over this concept only. In the first question we have, suppose that the vehicle taking a particular freeway exit can turn right, turn left, and go straight. We denote it by this activity, right? It is free, so we do not know on which direction it will move. So we have the RLS. Consider observing the direction for each of the three successive vehicles. So if three vehicles are going there, so all the three can choose any direction. So list all the outcomes in the event A, that all the three vehicles go in the same direction. So all the three vehicles go in the same direction. It means we denote the event by the capital letter A, and we enclose the possible outcomes in a curly bracket, right? So all the three either on the right side, on the left side, or on the straight. Then after second, in the B part, list all outcomes in the event B that all the three vehicles take different direction. All the three vehicles take the different direction means here we define by the B, and all the three are of different direction. So here we have the RLS means first vehicle on the right side, second vehicle on the left side, and third vehicle on in the straight. Similarly, RSL, LRS, right? Then LSR, SRL, or SLR. So here we can see, here we have the possible outcome when all the three vehicles are in the different direction. Then in the C part, list all outcomes in the event C that exactly two of the three vehicles turn right. Two of the three vehicles turn right. So again, we denote the event by the capital letter C, and we enclose the all the possible outcomes in the curly bracket. So it is given to you that two vehicles turn right. So two vehicles turn right, third one in the left, two vehicle in right, and third one is the straight. First and third in the right, and middle one in left. First and third one is right, and middle one is straight. Then last two vehicle on right, and first one either on left or on the straight. So here we have the possible outcome. So whatever the language is given, accordingly we have to write our event or the sample space. List all outcomes in the event D that exactly two vehicles go in the same direction. Two vehicles go in the same direction. So here we have the D. So we are writing all the possible outcome, two vehicles in one direction. So RRL, RRS, right? RRL, RRS, LRR, SRR. So the means these are due to the two vehicles in right. Then these six when two vehicles are turning to the left, and these six when two vehicles are going straight. So here we have the total sample point. Sample point is nothing, it is the elementary event, means singleton. When we are writing the singleton, that we denote by the sample point. So in this we have the total sample point. So in this now in the part E, list the outcome of the D dash. So what is the D dash? So here when we have the different event, we can generate more events from the given events also using some operation. So operation on event. So first one is the complement. First one is the complement, means it is the collection of possible outcomes. It is the collection of possible outcomes which belongs to, right, which belongs to S but does not belongs to A. It is the collection of the possible outcome which belongs to S, means it is the subset of the S and whose element does not belongs to A. Then we have the union. So when we have the two sets, so union of the two events, if A and B are the two events, so union of the two events we denote like this, and it is nothing, it is the collection of the element such that either X belongs to A or X belongs to B. X belongs to B, right? Similarly, we have the intersection. A intersection B. So it is nothing, it is the collection of X such that X should belong in both. So X belongs to A and X belongs to B. X belongs to B. So in this way, using the operation from the given events, we can generate more events also. More event means these are also the subset of the sample space. So these operation also give you the different events from the given events. So here when we have this, so in the part E, list the outcome of the D dash. So D dash means complement of the D. So here we have the D when exactly two vehicles go in the same direction. Exactly two vehicles go in the same direction. So D dash will contain either the all cars go in the same direction or none will go in the same direction, right? So all will go in the same direction, that is the RRR, LLL or SSS, and none will go in the same direction. So that is the this one. So D dash will be the complement of D. Then after you have to compute the C intersection D. So C, in the D we have the two vehicles go in the same direction, and C is the exactly two vehicle of the three vehicles turned right. So it means C is also the subset of the D. So when we have this situation, then the C union D is nothing. It is exactly equal to the D. When the C is subset of the D, then C union D will give you the D, and C intersection D is equal to the C. Right. So here it is written event D totally encloses event C. So if you have to compute the C union D, then it is equal to D. If you have to compute the C intersection D, then it is the C. So in this question, we have an idea of sample space, event, random experiment, right, and how we can write these things. Then from the operation of the events, right, how we can generate the new events. Let us have another question. So consider the measuring the lifetime of the light bulb. Lifetime means as you buy the new bulb, it so what is the lifetime of the bulb? Means it may be zero, it may be any positive real number, right? So here any non-negative real number can be considered as a lifetime of the light bulb in hours. So lifetime we denote it by the t, right? Lifetime we denote by the t. So it is the lifetime. So if you have to write the sample space, so sample space will be what? It is the t, any t. It can be 1 second, it can be 1 minute, it can be 1 hour, it can be 1 hour 1 minute 1 second, it can be 1 hour 1 minute 1 second, 1 nanosecond, whatever the thing. It means it is the t is the continuous, right? When you have purchased the bulb at this point of time, it can fail at any moment. It can fail at any moment. So sample space will be the t, right, where t is can be any real number or positive real number, right? Positive real number. So find the sample space. So what is the sample space for this? So that I have written. So instead of the t, if you denote it by the x, so let x denote the lifetime of the light bulb. So sample space we denote by the capital S, and it is the collection of all sample points, collection of all possible sample point. So because it is a continuous, so we cannot write as a discrete one, as we have written in the first question. For the continuous one we cannot write, so we have to write in the interval form. So here x such that x greater than equal to 0. Now B part, the outcomes of the event E, that the light bulb lifetime at least 100 hours. So when we have to define the event E, and it is given to you lifetime is at least 100 hours. So here we have the E, right? It is the collection of time x, where x is greater than 100 hours, where x is greater than 100 hours. Then the C, the outcomes of the event F, that the light bulb lifetime is at most 1000 hours. So it is the event F. In the curly bracket we have to write the lifetime, which is at most 1000 hours. So x less than equal to 1000 hours. Then after we have the outcomes of the event G, that the light bulb lifetime is exactly 505.5 hours. So G we define x such that x is equal to 505.5. So in this way, when we are talking for the continuous things, then we write in this way. Previous example for the discrete sample point, and current example for the continuous sample point. So these sheets means in all the tutorial section in this week, we have the same sheet. So all the tutorial section will do these questions only. Now, question number 3. An engineering construction firm is currently working on power plant at the 3 different sites. So we have the 3 different sites, and engineers are working there. Let A1, A2, A3 denote the event that plant at the site 1, 2, 3 respectively is completed by contract date. Whatever the contract date, so on the site 1 whether it is completed or not, on the site 2 whether it is completed or not, similarly for the site 3. So A1, A2, A3 denote the plant, means it is the site 1, 2, 3 completed by the contract date or not. Use the operation of union, intersection and complementation. I have given you the idea what is the union. Union means it is a collection of the sample point such that sample points should belongs to either A or B or both. Intersection means collection of the sample point which belongs to both, and complementation is the collection of the sample point which belong to that set but does not belongs to set A or event A. To describe each of the following events in terms of the A1, A2, A3, draw the Venn diagram. So when we are writing the event, so we have the very close relation between the events and the set theory. So whatever the sample space here, that we termed as a universal set in the set theory, and whatever the event we are defining here, right, that we write as a set in the set theory. So you have the enough idea of the union, intersection and complementation in the set theory. So if we have the two events, right, if we have the two events A and B, so A union B will be the, right, means either the sample points belongs to A or sample points belongs to B or both. So this represent our A union B. Similarly, if we have to compute the A intersection B, so A intersection B means the sample point, collection of the sample point which belongs to both events A and B. So having in the both. Then complementation means A dash. So it is a collection of the sample points which does not belongs to A, right, but belongs to the sample space S. So this is the area. So area of the A dash or A complement. We denote the A complement by the A bar also or A complement also. So by any notation you can represent the complementation. So Now this theory of operation of the events, you can extend for the more events also, right? And we have the very close relation between the set theory and events. So next question depend over that only. So at least one plant is completed by the contract date. At least one plant, at least one plant means what is the meaning? Either only first plant, or only second plant, or third plant, or first second, or second third, or first third, or first second third. Means we can represent this by the following Venn diagram, right? So here the shaded portion represent the A1 union A2 union A3. A1 union A2 union A3 represent that at least one site, right? At least one site is completed by the contract date. All plants are completed by the contract date, right? First, in the first one we have asked at least one plant is completed by the contract date. So either first one, second one, third one, or any two, or all the three. Now in the B parts they are asking all plants are completed by the contract date. So when we are talking about the all plants are completed by the contract date, so we have to shade the portion which is the part of the all the three sides, all the three events A1, A2, A3, and we represent it by the A1 intersection A2 intersection A3, right? A1 intersection A2 intersection A3. Then only the plant at the site 1 is completed by the contract date. Only the plant at the site 1. Only the plant at the site 1 means we have. So when we are talking for the, if I'm saying that, let this is the A1, this is the A2, and this is the A3. So this area will represent the only the A1, right? So when we are talking, only the plant at the site 1 is completed by the contract date. So we can write like this. So here we have the area which represent that only the site. When we are writing the only, so we cannot take the uh, means besides area also, and it can be written as A1 intersection A2 dash intersection A3 dash. In the notation form, this statement can be represented as A1 intersection A2 dash intersection A3 dash. Then after we have exactly one plant is completed by the contract date. Exactly one plant is completed by the contract date. Exactly one plant means it can be site 1, it can be site 2, or it can be the site 3. But exactly one means either the site 3, either site 2, or or the site 1. So this will represent exactly one plant is completed by the contract date. So here it can be written as this diagram is wrong. So whatever I have made there, So that is the correct diagram for this. And by notation, it can be written as A1 intersection A2 dash intersection A3 dash, means only the site 1, union A1 dash intersection A2 intersection A3 dash, only the site 2. Then A1 dash intersection A2 intersection A3, it represents the only the site 3. And exactly 1 means its union. So its union will represent the event representing exactly one plant is completed by the contract date. Either the plant at the site 1 or both of the other two plants are completed by the contract date. So when we have this situation, so it can be represented as this one, means with either the site 1 or the both of the site 2 and site 3. So here the Venn diagram represent the event represent either the plant at the site 1 or both of the other two plants are completed by the contract date. And it can be written as either the site 1 or the both of the site 2 and site 3. So A2 intersection A3.
Sir, I have a doubt in this.
Yes.
Sir, in this A1 union, A3 should not be there. Complete should not be there. I mean, A1 intersection, A2 intersection, A3 can be there, but A1 intersection, A3, the shaded portion should not be there.
Yes, sir, same doubt.
Because in that case, A1 is
You are
valid,
saying
but
that you are saying that this portion, no?
yes, sir, exactly.
This portion. Yes. This will not come. Mm. No, but here we have not written means only the site 1. This complete represent the site 1, no? This complete represent the site 1.
Sir, but in the
Means
intersection part, site 2 and site 3 are also.
site 1 and then or the both of the other two.
So site 1 wala condition only includes site 1, right? It can't include the
Here,
second one or third one.
here we have not written the only site 1. Site 1 with site 2, site 1 with site 3, site 1 with A2 and A3 can also. In this we have the only the site 1. Only it is written here. But in this question, they have written the site 1 only. They have not mentioned the only site 1. So this is the complete site 1. This is the complete site 1, and this portion yes. So this portion represent the site 1, and this portion represent the both of A2 and A3. Now you have to take the union of these two. Clear? Means
Yes, sir.
in in this there is no statement of the only. Clear this question? That's why we have chosen this question. Just we have to we want to convey here means how from the language, English language, you can write the notation, you can write the Venn diagram, you can draw the Venn diagram, you can write the corresponding components, elements. Then after, actually, when we are writing, uh, we have the three approach to compute the probability. Probability is what? Probability gives you till now what the knowledge you have about the probability? Any knowledge about the probability? In detail, we will explain in the lecture. What the knowledge you have about the probability? Anyone?
It tells us the chances of occurring of an event, how
Yes.
likely or how likely not it's
It represents the
occurs.
chances or likelihood of the occurrence of an event, and we denote it by the PA. Right. So for that we have the three approach for computing the probability. One is the personal approach. Another one is relative frequency approach. And third one is the classical approach. So personal approach means whether today it will rain or not. So anybody can answer by seeing the cloud, right? Sometimes it may rain, sometimes it may not rain, but anybody can answer. So that is the personal approach. For that, just on the experience, we can answer. In the relative frequency approach, we have to repeat the experiment number of times. For example, when I'm tossing I'm rolling a die 20 times. Out of the 20 times, if I'm getting the 6 3 times only, so can I say that at that means in that case the probability of the 3 will become the 3 upon 20. That approach means it is the Na upon n, means number of times you are repeating your experiment and number of times you are getting your outcomes favorable outcomes. So if you are taking the ratio of Na upon n, then you will get the required probability. But this approach is not always applicable because there are so many things in which you cannot repeat the experiment number of times, right? So relative frequency is not of much use. Then we have the classical approach. So when we have the classical approach, for the classical approach, I have to define the probability in the different way, right? So in lecture I will define, but in the classical approach, we have to use the approach of the axiom. So in that, first we check what are the possible outcomes when we are rolling a die. So possible outcomes are 1 2 3 4 5 6, and there is one possibility of the 6. So this probability will become the probability of 3 or probability of the 6 will become the 1 upon 6. So in this case, here we count number of favorable outcomes, right? Number of favorable outcomes upon number of possible outcomes. Number of possible outcomes. It means we have to count. We have to count these things. So for example, if we are tossing a three coins, then what will be the sample space? Sample space will be the head, tail, and it is the tail. When we are tossing a three coins, so sample space will be this one. So how we can generate these sample space? For that we have the tree diagram approach. What is the tree diagram? First we make the branch for the first trial. So here we have the two result, head and tail. Then we will draw the branch for the second trial. So here we have the result H and T, H and T. Then for the third we will draw. So here we have the H and T. Here we have the H and T. Here we have the H and T. And here also we have the H and T. So when we collect, so here we have the H and H. This is the HHT, and this is your TTT. So with the help of the tree diagram, we can get the information about the possible outcomes of any random experiment. But this tree diagram is applicable when we have the simple experiment. But when we have the complex experiment, then we have to go with the another approach known as the enumeration of the or counting, or you can say in easy language, you can say counting or enumeration. Enumeration, right? Either the counting or the enumeration. So with that, we can get the value of number of possible outcome in particular event or in the sample space. So in that we have the two approach, permutation and combination. Permutation and combination. So permutation is applicable when order is important. What is the meaning of the order? When we have to select, right, like 1 3 2 1, and if outcome is 1 2 1 3, if order is important, then these two are different. If order is not important, then these two are exactly same. So when order is important, then we apply the permutation. If order is not important, only selection is important, right? Only the selection is important, then we apply the combination. So combination we denote by the NCM. NCM denote when we select M objects, M items from the given N items. So we denote it by the NCM or N choose M. Similarly, permutation we denote by the NPM. So when we arrange the M objects out of the N object in particular order, then we use the permutation. And when selection is important, then we use the combination. So here we have the this is the basic approach for the numeration and counting. Then after, in this we have the multiplication rule. What is the multiplication rule? Multiplication rule, as we have seen in this example, when we are tossing a 3 coins. So for the first coin, we have the 2 alternatives. For the second coin also, we have the 2 alternatives. For the third coin also, we have the 2 alternatives. So number of possible ways you can compute by multiplying these 2 alternatives, right? So total we have the 8 possible outcomes. So similarly, if the first event you can perform in the N1 ways, second event you can perform in the N2 ways, and third event you can perform in the N3 ways, and so on. And kth event you can perform in the kth ways. Then total number of ways in which you can perform your experiment completely, right? We say it is the N1 into N2 into N3. So this is the multiplication rule. Means if you are doing your experiment in different stages, having the different alternatives in each stage, then their multiplication will give you number of the possible outcomes of possible ways. So N1 into N2 into N3 into Nk. So this is the multiplication rule. Then after, let us have some question. So computer keyboard failures can be attributed to electrical defects and mechanical defects. There is a keyboard, it can fail either due to the electrical defects or the mechanical defect. A repair facility currently has 25 failed keyboard, 6 of which have electrical defects and 19 of which have the mechanical defects. How many ways are there to randomly select the 5 of these keyboards for the thorough inspection without regard to order? So when order is not important, then we have to select any 5 out of the given 25. So it will become the 25C5, right? So it will become the 25C5. Then in how many ways can the sample of the 5 keyboards be selected? So here we are counting the number of ways, right? So 5 keyboards be selected so that exactly 2 have the electrical defect. Total 6 keyboards have the electrical defect, and out of 6 we are selecting any 2. It means remaining 3 must have the mechanical defect, which you can select from the 19 one, remaining 19 one. So number of ways in that case will become the 6C2 for the electrical, then multiplication rule, right, and 19C3 for the mechanical. So here we are applying the combination as well as the multiplication rule. For the electrical, we have the 6 keyboard. Out of the 6, we have selected the 2 one, and for 19 keyboard, and we are selecting the 3 one. So in the 2 steps, we are doing this experiment, selection of the 5 keyboards. So we are applying the multiplication rule. Then after, we have a garage door opener has the 6 toggle switches, each with 3 settings up, center, and down. Any keyboard has the setting, either that setting consists of the up, center, and down. In how many ways can these switches be set? So here we have the switches, 6 switches, and any combination can be applied, right? Any combination can be applied. So it means for the first switch we have the 3 alternative, for the second switch also we have the 3 alternative, for the third switch also we have the 3 alternative, for the fourth one also we have the 3 alternative, and for the sixth one also we have the 3 alternatives. So in how many ways can these switches be set? So total it will become the 3 to power 6. 3 to power 6 means 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So total is 729 ways you can set the lock. How many settings are possible in which 2 switches are up, 2 switches are down, and 2 switches are in center? So in the out of the 6, 2 are up. Then if 2 are up, so from the remaining one, 2 are in center. From the remaining 2, now we have the in the down. So this can be written as factorial 6 upon factorial 4 factorial 2. This can be written as factorial 4 upon factorial 2, and this can be written as, right, factorial 2, and factorial 0. So factorial 4 and factorial 4 cancel out. Factorial 2 and factorial 2 and cancel out. So here we have the factorial 6 upon the factorial 2, and factorial 2. So in this way, so the rest question we will do in next class. So till that you have the enough idea about the basic thing of the probability also. So in next class we continue. You make the WhatsApp group, include my name, right? So I will share the important information there.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. If anyone has any doubt, then please ask. Otherwise, may log out.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Ayushman Majumdar, Mukund Mishra.